we need to talk about the noise. If you have been feeling a specific kind of exhaustion lately, when you look at your closet or when you open your phone, I want you to know that you are not imagining it. You aren't losing your interest in style, and you definitely aren't losing your taste. Welcome to GTWJ. Hi, I'm June. Before we begin, a cup of coffee, tea, or something nice to drink and settle in. Before we go deeper, this video is part of the Architecture Project, a 25-day series. We are dissecting one page a day from my new essay, Fashion as Identity Formation. If you are a subscriber, the full 25-page text is already waiting for you in the portal right now. Go read it. And if you want counterpart to this philosophy, the High Gloss Gallery, you can pick up issue 003, Authority Without Permission, separately. The essay is the theory, the issue is the practice. Now let's get into today's file. Now don't worry, this concept stands alone. Just understanding this one idea will completely shift how you look at your closet this week. What you are feeling is an inevitable result of a system that has finally moved too fast for the human spirit to keep up with. We are in 2026 now, and if you look around, really look around, you'll notice that the air has shifted. For the last 5 years, we were told that more was better. More aesthetics, more cause, more micro-trends. We were told that if we just bought the right bag or nailed the right mob wife or office siren look, we would finally feel like ourselves. But we didn't. We just felt full. And now we feel tired. The title of this video is Stop Buying Trends in 2026. But I'm not saying that because of the economy or because of minimalism or even just because of sustainability, though those are all valid reasons. I am asking you to stop buying trends because they are breaking your ability to recognize yourself in the mirror. This year, right now, we are entering a period that some analysts are calling the Great Exhaustion. It's this collective realization that we have optimized ourselves to death. We have curated every inch of our lives, but we have lost the plot. And nowhere is this clearer than in our clothes. I wrote something about this recently. It's a letter I sent out to my private readers, but I want to share a part of it with you here because I think it names the ghost that is haunting your wardrobe. You don't usually say it out loud because it sounds superficial when spoken too quickly. But there has always been a quiet frustration around clothes, not because you don't like fashion and not because you lack interest or taste, but because something never quite settles. You can assemble an outfit that looks right by every external measure, one that would make sense to someone else, one that follows all the cues you've learned to follow, and still feels strangely absent inside it, as if you're wearing something accurate but not true. The mirror reflects coherence, but your body doesn't recognize itself. Over time, this becomes tiring. You try again and again, adjusting details, changing references, refining aesthetics. You assume the problem is technical, the wrong silhouette, the wrong era, the wrong mood. Maybe you haven't found your style yet. Maybe you just need more exposure, more inspiration, more certainty. But what you feel privately is not curiosity anymore. It's a kind of low-grade exhaustion. Fashion begins to feel like translation work. You are constantly trying to explain yourself through choices that never fully land. That right there, that feeling of translation work, is why we need to stop buying trends this year. Because a trend is, by definition, someone else's language. When you buy a trend, you are trying to speak a sentence that someone else wrote. And you can say it perfectly. You can pronounce the words correctly. You can wear the sheer skirt or the structured blazer exactly how the stylist told you to. But it's not your voice. It's just an echo. So if we aren't buying trends, what do we do instead? If we strip away the noise, what is left? The answer is structure. In 2026, I want you to replace the word style with the word architecture. When you build a house, you don't start with the wallpaper. You don't start with the throw pillows. You start with the foundation, the walls, the beams. You ask, how does the light get in? How does the air move? Is this a place where I can live? Trends are wallpaper. They are decoration. And for the last decade, we've been trying to build our identities out of wallpaper. We've been layering pattern on top of pattern, hoping that if we add enough decoration, it will suddenly turn into a home. But it doesn't. It just turns into a pile of paper. Doing this, stopping the consumption cycle, requires a different part of your brain. It requires a shift from looking to thinking. And this brings me to something important. I realized a few months ago that I couldn't have this conversation properly on YouTube alone. This platform is incredible for community and for broad ideas, but it is loud. The algorithm rewards speed. It rewards reaction. But style, real style, the kind that solves that quiet frustration I just read to you, requires silence. It requires slow thought. That is why I created the GTWJ subscription. It's completely separate from the magazine issues. You know the magazine, issue 003, just came out on the 1st of the month. The magazine is the gallery, it's the finished exhibit. But the subscription, that is the studio. It is a private editorial space where I write letters to you. Not scripts, not captions. Letters written slowly and without performance. These texts explore clothing not as a trend or self-expression, but as structure, language, and presence. I realized I needed a place where I could just write the truth about why we wear what we wear. It's an evolving editorial archive, ongoing reflections rather than finished objects, created for those of you who value clarity over noise and depth over immediacy. If you are tired of the surface level content, if you want to understand the psychology behind your choices, that is where the real work is happening. And it is the antidote to the algorithm. But whether you join me there or not, the principle remains the same for your closet. You need a quiet room. So let's get practical. How do you apply this structure in 2026? How do you dress without the crutch of trends? You start by looking for recognition, not novelty. The next time you walk into a store or the next time you browse online, I want you to pay attention to your body's reaction. Usually when we shop trends, we get a hit of dopamine. We think, oh, this is new, this is exciting, this will make me look relevant. That is the feeling of novelty. But there is another feeling. It's quieter. It's almost boring if you don't know what to look for. It's the feeling of recognition. It's when you put something on and your nervous system settles. You don't feel a rush, you feel a relief. You feel like you have arrived. That feeling is usually attached to clothes that are not shouting. It's attached to quality materials. It's attached to cuts that respect the line of your body rather than trying to distort it. This year, I want you to buy heavier. And I don't mean weight, though often that helps. I mean emotional weight. I want you to buy things that feel like they have gravity. If you look at the industry right now, even the designers are tired. The collections for late 2025 and 2026 have stripped back. We are seeing a return to tactile fabrics, to strange but comforting shapes, to garments that wrap and protect rather than expose and perform. This isn't quiet luxury. Quiet luxury was just another trend. It was a costume of wealth. What I am talking about is intellectual luxury. It is the luxury of knowing who you are so well that you don't need your clothes to introduce you. When you wear a trend, the trend enters the room before you do. When you wear structure, you enter the room. The clothes are just the atmosphere you brought with you. This is why shopping your closet is so powerful, but only if you do it with this new mindset. Don't just go into your closet and try to recreate a Pinterest outfit. That's still translation work. Go into your closet and look for the pieces that you have worn 100 times, the ones that are maybe a little worn out, the ones you reach for when you are sad or tired or in a rush. Why those? Don't dismiss them as basics. Those pieces are the blueprint of your architecture. They are the only things you own that are accurate and true. Maybe it's a specific neckline. Maybe it's a specific weight of denim. Maybe it's the way a sleeve hits your wrist. Study those pieces. Treat them with the reverence usually reserved for a couture gown. Because those pieces have succeeded where the trends failed. They allowed you to be present. In 2026, we are moving from consumption to presence. Consumption is about filling a void. Presence is about occupying space. When you are constantly buying trends, you are shrinking. You are becoming a mannequin for the industry. You are letting them dictate the silhouette of your life. But when you stop, when you decide that you will only wear things that offer recognition, you start to expand. You take up space. You cultivate what I call authority without permission. And that is actually the theme of GTWJ issue 003, which is available now. Authority Without Permission. It's 110 pages long, and it explores exactly this: how taste, discernment, and self-trust are formed by not outsourcing decisions to trends, approval, and noise. If you are new here, or if you feel like you've lost your way in fashion, issue 003 is the perfect starting point. It builds on everything we talked about in issue 001 and 002, but it stands on its own as a manual for taking your power back. And if you want to go even deeper, if you want to be part of the daily, slow, unfolding conversation about what it means to be a woman who wears clothes rather than a woman who is worn by them, then I invite you to join the subscription. It's where I share the thoughts that are too fragile for video. It's where we stop performing and start building. So for 2026, no more translation work, no more accurate but not true. Let's build something real. I'll see you in the next one.